Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time for the next challenge in my 101 Scrapbooking and Sketches Book Challenge. I am going to be working with one of our mini collections that came out recently called Sydney Scenes. And I wanted to show you that it's not just for layouts from trips to Australia. You can actually use it for other things, like just even a general day to the beach. So I've picked the sketch from page 31 to work with this collection, and I can't wait to share with you what I've done. All right, here it is. And if you don't have the book, I will be linking this original blog post to the description box below this video. I actually am kind of staying a little bit closer to the sketch this time. I'll say a little bit because in the sketch, we have these two mats on the top. And I was like, great, large photos. And then I saw these three smaller ones and I went, 3.5-inch photos, that's really small. But I noticed behind it, which is why I circled this here, they had 3.5 by 4.5 mats again. And I thought, you know what, let's pull that out. Let's not do the three small photos and let's keep with the larger photos on the pages that's already here. And I am going to make it a 2-page layout as usual. I shouldn't say as usual, but I have been making a lot of these single page ones into double pages. And I thought, let's go have a day at the beach. So I'm going to use the beach paper for both sides of my layout on the base. One of them has just actually they both have the waves on the back. And I am using the seagull paper for my photo mats, and I've gone ahead and I've cut 8 4.25 by 6.25 mats. This one's going to be pretty quick and simple because we are simply going to be layering our mats through the page here because we're not going to add all the other. And then I'm going to talk to you about what I really wanted to do as well. That didn't quite work out for me. I'll grab my tape runners real quick here. And so the seagull paper has this orange on the back side of it. And yes, when you cut them, if you don't know how to get 4.25 by 6.25 mats from one sheet of paper, please let me know and I will do a video to demonstrate that for you. I have my seagulls going, I guess, the right direction because it was a directional paper. So my seagulls are going, I guess, the direction they look like they're supposed to be going on my top part of my mat. And I'm just we're gonna lightly layer these because that's what it shows in the sketch. And I can always take, when I go to put my photos, I can either cut my photo just a little bit smaller, or I can grab my multi-purpose tool. But really, you can see I can just lift the paper and kind of tuck my photo under there as well. So those are going kind of up and down. These are going sideways, and that's just because it was a directional paper. I suppose I could have done the orange paper, but it has a lot of Sydney and Australia's, and I really wanted to show you we can have a day at the beach from the same collection. And so what's more beachy than seagulls? I don't know. I remember going to the beach as a kid and having those seagulls try to steal our sandwiches. You just never know. Some of them can be kind of mean. And so one of the other things I really had wanted to do was I cut 4.25 square mats as well for the bottom of the page, but I didn't wind up having enough space down here to put this in. So I thought, we can, instead of doing that, we're going to put something else on the other side. But I thought, here's this really cool beach day sticker. So we're going to go ahead and add that down here. And yes, you can journal down there as well if you want. But I thought, Let's do beach day. We're going to put a little sailboat up at the top. And then we had a couple of seagull stickers as well. So why not have more seagulls? They're kind of funny. I don't know. It makes you think of the Finding Nemo movie a little bit too, but they are interesting birds. I will definitely give it that. So here is this one down here, and we're going to have another one on the other page. But that's it for the left side of our page. Pretty quick, pretty simple. Enough space for 4 large photos instead of having the smaller ones going across. And then I'm going to bring in the right side of the page. We're going to do the same thing over here, but we're going to add a space for a journal box as well on the bottom here. And let's see here. I'm just kind of trying to angle it up through the center of the page here, watching that point up there, making sure my birds are not upside down. We wouldn't want an upside down seagull, or we can have some sideways ones. And then there was this sticker coming in here, which I'm going to put on foam squares to bring it in just through the top of our page. And then there also is a larger frame, laser cut frame that goes with this collection as well, but that one also is a little bit more Australia-y, Sydney, I guess, if you will. So if you're taking a trip there, fantastic. Grab the frame also, but if not, don't rule out a collection just based on the name. I guess that's kind of like judging a book by its cover, right? So I was going to use the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 at the bottom of the page for my journaling, but since that didn't fit, I went ahead and I cut one down to 4 inches by 2 inches to go just down here over this green part a little bit more. You could write potentially on this lighter portion of the page, but I just grabbed a little piece of one of our index sheets and I'm using that for a journal box down here. Just kind of flowing through the center. Actually, I am going to grab my 0 centering ruler because I feel like this one needs to be centered a little bit better. So let me go between the 2s here. There we go. All right. Easy peasy. And then I grabbed a couple of our stars also from our sticker sheet just to highlight our journal box a little bit as well. Actually, I wanted to switch that. I don't know if I'll be able to get that up. Let's see. As you know, I am funny about color. I can't help it. It's just one of my quirks, I guess, or what makes me special, maybe. There we go. Orange is on the outside, blue is on the inside, and I will tell you why in just a moment. Let me grab my sheet of foam squares here, and we're going to put some of the small ones underneath this attacking seagull. Flying, not attacking, flying. Like I said, sometimes they get aggressive, don't they? Yeah. You can tell I grew up in a place near a beach. Yet they are, like I said, they're definitely special birds. All right. So I've got foam squares under each of the wings, so that way they're not going to sag on our page at all. And we want to make sure that it's inside the page. Oops. So that way when we put our page protector on, it'll be there. There we go. Okay. So, but we can still get our photo onto this photo mat underneath here. You can see that. All right. So that's the right side of the page. It's, like I said, it just feels really simple and quick this time. which is okay to have some simpler ones, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But here, this is why the orange is on the outside and the blue's on the inside, because the blue, it just is a little bit more here. And see here, this is here, and this orange is here. It just works a little bit better on the outside with, I don't know, it just flows better, I guess. You can put your, if you don't want stars, don't put stars. The blue blends in a little more here, and it goes kind of just more with the water and the colors in the rest of the page. But the orange, I just knew I wanted it on the outside. So that's kind of where it just worked better for me. So that's your 2-page layout. You're going to be able to get 8 photos on there. So a little different from our original layout. But like I said, I was able to just pull this underlayer from these 3 out and then kind of use some of the natural flow of the paper from this paper pack as far as some of this borders that they used at the bottom of the page instead. And then we still have a spot for journaling, but here I didn't want to use up a whole section. I want to actually put the photos on. That's it. That's it for the layout anyways. One of the other things I am doing is challenging myself to do a card with each of these. So let me pull that out. Here we go. I have one of our blank cards from our card kit. It's the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 base. And on the back side, so after I cut these 2 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 mats I wound up not using in the other layout, I had this scrap left over. And when I flipped it over, I just saw, wow, look how pretty this is. These flowers on here, they're just have a very tropical feel to me. And I just thought it really is pretty. But then when I put it on here, I kind of was like, eh. And then I remembered that I cut my 4 mats from my single sheet of paper. When you do that, you get a little bit of extra on the sides. It's about 1.5 inches. So I grabbed some of my strips. I cut them down. On the back side of that is this orange that helps our flowers to pop. And even though it does say the Sydney and the Australia, I don't think it's going to be distracting, because really when you see it on the card, we're going to be looking at the flowers and not so much at the words. Let's see here. So this is 1.5 by 4 1/4, and I have 2 of these strips. And then I have 2 strips that are 5 1/2 by 1 1/2. We're just going to layer these over to create a frame for our flowers here. And my flowers are going to go on the outside, kind of like what I did with the riveting sketch at the last virtual crop. I put the piece on top of the frame instead of behind it. And I think that's what I'm going to do here as well. It's just a different approach, maybe. Still works. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just a little bit of a different approach to it. Okay, I need to reinforce this edge just a little bit. Hang on, let me grab my border mat here. Open this up. It's just I'm finding I like to make sure as much as possible to get this edge that you open your card on just a little bit stronger. It just helps when somebody's opening it to not have the paper flopping around on the card. And there we go. Just want to get these corners down a little bit better. I should have probably used my repositionable tape before I did it, but that's okay. We're going to use our tape runner upside down, and it works. Also, just to get those little edges down. So here, let me do it before I put this one down, and then just go ahead and stick it down with your regular tape runner. There we go. And then we're just going to go ahead and center this on here. And that's it. I'm not going to add any words. I'm not going to add any other stickers. I think this is just a really pretty all-purpose card. And sometimes you don't need the words on the outside of a card. You put them on the inside, right? So all occasion card, maybe it could be Mother's Day, I don't know. If you have a friend traveling, or just a thinking of you card. I mean, you can see a little bit of the Australia and Sydney, but like I said, it really, I don't think detracts, because really you're looking at the beauty of the flowers. So that's it. We're done with page 31 of our book. I hope you enjoyed seeing my interpretation of this sketch. It was a quick one, but I hope you all like it just as much as some of the more complicated ones. Until next time.